is favoritism? Let me give you a quote. Let me just give you some kind of definition. Favoritism is exalting someone simply because of who they are, where they live, or what they give. That's what favoritism is. Favoritism is exalting someone simply because of who they are, where they live, or what they give. That's favoritism. Just that's the reason why you exalt them. And we're a nation of exalters. I mean, for most of us, it wouldn't matter how a person lived. If they are a football star, we're going to exalt them. They're a movie star, who cares whether they've been divorced and remarried and committed adultery 25 times? We're going to exalt them because we're a nation of hero worshippers. But here God is saying, be very careful, church. Don't bring those worldly standards into the ranks of God's people. So, could we just agree on something here? That most people show favoritism. I wanted to say all of us, but I didn't want to indict at least one of you. Most of us show favoritism. Why? Favoritism, for those of us who know and love the Lord Jesus, it happens all the time. I battle with it, don't you? That's why I'm asking you to forgive me. All the time. So let me just give you 4 potential reasons why most people show favoritism, why most of us are guilty as charged. Number 1, because some people are just like us. So some people are just like us. They look like us, they sound like us, they talk like us. You know that wonderful Proverbs, birds of a feather, what's the rest of it? Flock together. Well, most of us show favoritism because some people are just like us. That explains it right there. I love to be around people just like me. In fact, I could build a portfolio right now. I love to be around people that are really good looking. I mean, look at me. Have you seen me without my shirt? I love to be around men who are really good golfers because I'm just such an incredible golfer. That's why I don't like playing with people like our chairman of deacons. I like to play with very serious, good golfers. So Steve and I never get to play because he's just way below my average. You know, we like to be around people. Folks, you can travel around society. Who's criticized? It's very natural. It's very natural to want to be around people just like me. Most people show favoritism because some people just bless us. I don't know where I would be in my whole life if it weren't for a whole array of people who have just blessed me. Remember when I arrived in America over 3 decades ago, I had nothing. Nothing. Went to a Baptist deacon's home, Mr. James Jackson. First night I was in the great state of Mississippi. He owned a car dealership, Red Carpet Motors, in Columbia, Mississippi. Sitting there, and he tossed me this set of keys to a motor car. I didn't have a car, didn't have a bicycle. Both Karen and I, we had nothing. We had nothing. And I will never forget that all my life. What an incredible, kind, unbelievably kind thing. To this day, I can never get over the fact that James and Mary Nell Jackson took in 2 people from Africa they had never met, didn't know us, from a bar of soap, and he gave me a motor car. And when I got in that thing and told him I'd look, he said, "No, Don, you don't understand. I'm giving it to you." It was a Plymouth Grand Fury with 2 doors. I mean, it had the longest hood that you've ever seen in your life. I mean, you got to look. I had to have binoculars to see down the end of it. It was my first American gas guzzler. I was so proud, took pictures up this way and that way to send to my sorry brothers in Africa, just to brag a little. So, listen, you want me to tell you something, folks? For the next 10 years, every time I possibly could, I wanted to hang around with James Jackson. Right? Because he blessed me. Most people show favoritism. Some people are just like us. Some people just bless us. Bless you for blessing others. Why would you not want to hang around with people who bless you? Some people show favoritism because some people just intimidate us. As much as some people bless us, some people intimidate us. So can I just get this out of the way? There's some people you don't want to hang around with. Right? There's some people who are very vexatious to your spirit. There's some not very nice people. Why would you want to hang around with people who are not very nice people? Some people who've got an attitude. I don't know if you probably live with him. Have you ever lived with somebody that's just negative all the time? Got to complain about everything. Doesn't matter what's going on. Well, there are people who intimidate us, or they're just not people that you want to hang around with. Some people show favoritism because some people just need us. There's a good reason for favoritism. There's some people who just need us, folks. I'm a pastor. I had to cancel 2 very important meetings this week that I would have loved to have gone to for me. I would have loved to have gone to. And I had to, at the last minute, cancel because I had to go to some people who really needed me. I wasn't showing favoritism, but there are people who really need us. And so we gravitate in that direction. So when we talk about this identity crisis, this feeling of being left out, you can establish this spiritually. You can ask, are you just like us? Are you someone who blesses us? Are you someone who intimidates us? Are you someone who needs us? There's a good starting point spiritually. So where do we go? How do we deal with something that is so important to us? You've got to look at Jesus, and you've got to see how Jesus sees us. I'm a Christian man. I want to see you through God's eyes.